Okay, so here's an example of an answer that at first seems like it says more than it really does. Okay, so if we look at this paragraph here, this person says, so don't forget the question was if the public sector want more money it should get it, and they say, well, however, so it's their second paragraph, they say, however, it could be considered that this is bad to give them money when they need it. One way in which this shows is that we increase taxes. This is because the public services rely on taxation, otherwise they wouldn't be financially stable and able to run properly. The government would have it to increase tax unless they cut money to other sectors, however this would also have impacts. Therefore, giving money when they want is a bad thing, as the taxation would increase, leading to electorate not voting for your party in the next general election. There's a lot of words there, but when we actually look at what they're saying, it's not a lot. What are they saying? It says we shouldn't do it because if we do, we'll have to increase taxes. They then go on to tell me that their health service is paid for by taxes. We don't really need that part. It then says the government would have to increase tax unless they cut money from other sectors. Okay, that's a separate point, isn't it? The idea that they might have to cut from other areas. You've said it's bad because you have to increase taxes, so skip that part. It's only this last line here that says, therefore, giving them money when they want is a bad thing, as the taxation would increase to leading the electorate to not voting for your party. So there you go. That's it. In this whole paragraph, what they've really said is, no, we shouldn't give them more money because you'll have to increase taxes, and if you do, the electorate wouldn't like it and they might not vote for you again. Everything else in between isn't really saying much. What we also need, this is an example of how you need to be clear of the point you want to make. This person was clear they wanted their paragraph to be about taxation, but what exactly were they going to say? Taxation would be unpopular. If that's the only thing they were going to say, they need to cut out the other bits. The beginning's a bit kind of cluttered as well. But what I've tried to do is say, okay, how might you change this? So that opening sentence. However, it could be considered this is bad to give them money when they need it. One way in which this shows this is it would increase taxes. Let's change that to, however, some might argue that funding should be limited as any increase would need to be funded through taxation. There you go. Simple line rather than two separate lines. Slightly more articulate and succinct in the way it's said. Then you say, okay, if I've made my opening point, we shouldn't do it because you'd have to increase taxation. All right, why would that be bad? So my middle section is going to say, well, why would that be bad? Well, like this person here, say, well, this would prove unpopular with the electorate. Fine. But I want to say other reasons why it would be bad. Why else would it be bad to increase taxes? So I'm going to say not only would it prove to be unpopular with the electorate, potentially impacting their chance of re-election, but it would also adversely impact the least able to cope in society. For many families, an increase in taxes such as national insurance, I'm just showing off there, I want Jenny to know that I understand the NHS is funded by national insurance, would mean that they had too little disposable income, that's your spare cash, and may even need additional support. If we tax people too much, it might push them into the benefit system, which then undoes the whole point of doing it in the first place. So it would put further strain on the Treasury's finances. Again, I don't really need to say the Treasury's finances, I said government, but I wanted to show off that I knew the Treasury handled the cash. And then I'm going to close my paragraph again. Therefore, the public sector should not get more money as the impact of funding would be too great. What I've done is I've taken this person's point. Look, you're going to tax, it would agree to an increase in taxes, but I've made it more succinct. I've then told you, well, why would that be a problem? Why is taxing not such a great thing? And then I've closed it. Obviously, you wouldn't really break this down. You put it all together as one paragraph. I've separated it so you can see the distinction of those three separate points. This just emphasises the same thing that lots of you are finding again and again. And you are improving. From the answers I'm seeing, you are getting better at this. But we still need that clarity over our paragraph. What is the singular point I'm trying to make? Don't diversify and go off on a tangent. You've got a whole answer to make other points. What's the singular point I'm trying to make? I introduce the point. I explain the point, showing the key words that I know, and then I link it back to the question. It's that pattern that we are practicing. It's not our knowledge so much we're practicing right now, it's this pattern, okay?